Hello YouTube vintage stereo restorers and collectors. I gotta tell you, if you hear me kind of slurping a little bit, it's I have the spring allergies going and it just makes it kind of hard sometimes. What I want to talk about is on many of these vintage stereos you have these switched and unswitched outlets. Sometimes none, sometimes one, sometimes two. I had one Yamaha that had three. And this is what happens to them. These are not polarized. So both sides are the same, just like the power cord on here. They're the same width. If you put in a polarized cord, it will split. And that's what the one that was in here actually split right in half. And the issue on this side here, not such a big deal in that outlet. The other one is right up against the heatsink, metal heatsink, you know. And so it split and the one blade pushed out a bit and it was touching the heatsink. You could see a few little pits in it. And I kind of wondered about it because when I first plugged it in, I thought I heard a little kind of like just a little noise from it, but then you can't look it over 100%. I just noticed this when I was cleaning up the back here, just wiping it down, getting the dust and grime off of it. I put a few new screws in. Some of them were corroded. The screws on, they're the same screws on a Nico, a Yamaha, a Pioneer, a Sansui, Techniques. They seem to all have these small machine screws that kind of look like a brass plating. And they corrode very easily in a humid, let's say this was stored in a garage or a basement for 30 years, and I'm glad somebody kept it, but they do corrode. These ones here don't seem to. So I took these out, replaced some of the screws, and I'm going, ooh, look at that. And so I replaced it. I have quite a few of these pulled out of other units in a bag. And so I put a new one and new screws in there. But I have no intention of ever using it. I just have at my stereo cabinet, I have a power bar and everything runs back to the power bar. So if there's a problem, I can hit the switch on the power bar. This running, and I know this used to be done years ago, plug one cord in, you put the turntable into the switched or whatever, maybe your tuner into the unswitched, and you then, for instance, I have that Nico tuner that I started working on. It has an unswitched outlet on the back of it. And it looks okay, but I've seen, I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, it was a Lafayette. And they have a red outlet to notify that to show you that it's switched. The blade had pushed in, hooked up to the wire, and had started around inside of it. It looked like somebody had been in there with a little welder. Anyway, I got that one fixed up, but that was a little while ago. These get a lot of little nicks and bangs over the years. Like when I first got this one, the fuse holder, this screw-in part was missing. So another bag of parts, I got that. And this auxiliary here, this one was very loose. So I pushed it back through and re-crimped it, a little solder on the other side. But there you go, just a little message about those vintage outlets. Run everything back to a power bar, but make sure that they're not touching anything inside. It is nice to have them on the back for the original look. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening.